The child star syndrome. Young Hollywood stars struggling with their identity. It's now the central theme of a new novel entitled Cliff Falls. Local author Shiepe is with us right now. And first of all, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Good to be here.
What possessed you to write this book?
You know, I worked in the entertainment industry, and I knew some child stars. And I was always fascinated. One in particular, he was probably the most popular kid on a show. And every girl wanted to date him. Every guy wanted to be him. But the reality of his life is he was a pretty sad kid. And so the dichotomy of the internal and the external, that interests me.
Will we recognize any of the players in here? I know it's a novel, but it's based on truth. It's
based on truth. I'm proud that there are no cliches in the book, but it definitely has an industry inside perspective.
Before we move too far away from it, the young man that you're talking about, where did he go? What did he do? Was he a success?
He dropped out of the limelight by choice, and I don't know the reality of his life. He wasn't someone who got into notorious trouble, but he was someone who walked away from it. And my main character walked away from everything. He started a fire the night of his 18th birthday, kind of his day of reckoning, his Britney Spears moment when she shaved her head. He got all these products that bared his image, and all these consumer products, put them on the back lot, set them on fire, and disappeared that night.
When you see the meltdowns that you've seen, you know, the Lindsay Lohans and things like that, do you relate to that? Do you understand it a little better than perhaps those of us on the outside looking in?
I think so. We consume child stars twice in life. Once when they entertain us, and once when they grow up and stumble and are on TMZ. We haven't really considered, do we have anything in common with them? I think the reason the novel has taken off is people see themselves as the main character. The idea of who are you when you're living a life that everyone else wants you to be? Who are you when you're separated from that identity? That's something that readers are attaching to.
You're pretty familiar with this lot around here.
I am.
Would I be correct in calling you a child star?
I wasn't a child star, but I acted for a while in my 20s, and on this lot. Nothing, pretty modest acting experience, but I did have that inside view of what it was like, and there were child stars on the show that I worked on. And
why do you think some of them are successful and some of them really do turn into the bad boys and the bad girls and fall by the wayside?
I think it has something to do with most of them, all they know is what they don't want, who they're not. I'm not that kid anymore. I'm not that show. But they haven't had time to develop, well, who am I? What do I want in life? And how do you move on when people won't let you move on because of who they need you to be? That was a theme that I thought was pretty universal.
Now, I know you're speaking at Betty Ford this weekend.
Yes.
And how did that come about?
It surprised me. I'm getting all these emails. People are connecting with the novel in deeply personal ways. I'm getting emails from people with histories of sexual abuse, physical abuse, substance abuse. And the Betty Ford Center has a speaker series. And it's at the Annenberg Theater. They're expecting up to 500 people. And they even got actors to act out scenes from the novel. So that's the most gratifying part for me.
Again, you know, it's one thing to witness this. We all see a lot of things, but what made you put it on paper?
Well, the truth is, about 15 years ago, I got sick. I got sick with something. They didn't know what it was for a while, and I was isolated while they figured that out. And all I could do was write. And something about my experience of being taken out of life and isolated made me relate to these child stars. And this is the fruit of that. When you go over the falls in life, it's called Cliff Falls, that metaphor, that's an opportunity to be transformed. That's an opportunity to find out who you are and what your life's about, regardless of who people need you to be. And that's a pretty strong message.
We're talking about you being a local author. You grew up in and around Pasadena and San Marino?
San Marino.
San Marino High School graduate.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. And I should mention he's here with his mother, who seems to be very proud today. Not a stage mom, though, right?
Not a stage mom at all. She believes this out of me.
She's shaking her head going, All right. Thank you so much.